With the upcoming season of Wednesday coming to Netflix August 6th, and the second part coming in September, I thought I thought it would be fun to give a little bit of my predictions for season 2 while also breaking down the 6-minute clip that Netflix just recently released. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. In the first 6-minute clip that Netflix released for us, we saw that Wednesday was now gaining a little bit more control of her powers. She spent the majority of her break trying to practice and harness her powers through Goody's Good Book of Spells. And she used this power to test to find a serial killer that she was obsessed with since she was a child. Which, honestly, of course she would. This is Wednesday we're talking about. But in this 6-minute clip, it's very interesting how quickly I knew that they were going to be going into a more horror theme direction, and in this 6-minute clip, in my opinion, we were starting to see the theme or the tone of the shows kind of start to change a little bit. Not fully. We haven't seen the full season yet, but in the first 6 minutes with her trying to figure this out, and we see how in control she is of her powers. More in particularly, we do see it's not so she's more assertive of herself with her powers, and we see this through this. The one thing that I'll miss about season 1, and especially in season 2, I'll miss Xavier, because even though I didn't really like the love triangle whole trope in the first season, or love triangles in general, there's just something about Wednesday and Xavier's dynamic that was very funny to me. It was very interesting. I just really wanted to see delve what's the word, it was developed a little bit more, because these are two characters who have more history. They have a past, and also I kind of wanted to see them be partners in crime, see them bicker a little bit, because even though there's a huge possibility that they might not be a couple, or even Endgame in particular, there was still potential to see Wednesday's growth with her relationship with Xavier, if I'm explaining myself correctly. And also in my opinion, I kind of would like them to be Endgame, but even though I personally am glad that the show is cutting off the romance aspect of it and just simply going straight first into the horror genre of it. I just miss Xavier. I am personally not a huge fan of Wednesday and Tyler. I feel it's very cliche, it's very typical. Also, mostly because I just don't really have that much of a good impression of Tyler. He doesn't really make that much of a good impression on me. I feel he's just kind of there. I feel I don't know. I just, again, even though I never watched any of the Addams Family content in the past, I just feel the romance aspect of the show was very forced, looking back. Wednesday and Tyler's relationship is very textbook cliche, teen romance trope. Even though it's kind of it's cute. I won't deny that their pairing is very cute. I just think that, I don't know, it's not really giving that much to me. Wednesday and Tyler just simply don't make sense to me. And I feel he was only put there just to have that big plot twist in the end. But anyway. One of my most favorite relationships of the show is basically Enid and Wednesday's relationship. That is mostly because it's really just a huge opposites attract. It's one of those friendships that shouldn't make sense, like Enid says, but as the process of the show goes on, you just seeing these two together. There are some people who kind of ship these two together, and I feel like if the show was going to like keep the romance aspect of teen romance, like a little genre of like the show, most likely if it's not Xavier or Tyler, Enid's the more better choice because their relationship in general is just meant to like challenge Wednesday, and also Enid gets Wednesday to like evolve a little bit more, not like change her whole personality, but like challenge her to just simply feel her own feelings. And Wednesday also challenges Enid to be more confident in herself. And we see this throughout the first season. We see Enid trying to basically be more confident in herself. We see her being more inspired by Wednesday. And we also just simply see her just simply growing a backbone, because everything that Wednesday is, Enid is personally isn't. Wednesday's more brash, more sarcastic, more deadpan. She just is very sure of herself. Enid's very like preppy, happy, but also kind of like passive, mostly because of her relationship with her mother. All of her feelings is just so balled up. But with these two kind of like this dynamic that these two have, we see a perfect friendship where both of their yin and yang like personalities like come together in a more perfect little balanced like place. I feel like I'm not explaining myself that well, but like I like this dynamic the most in the show. I'm very excited to like see where their friendship really goes. And they are the perfect partners in crime, I gotta say, because Enid is the perfect person in Wednesday's life. I'll just say that. Enid is Wednesday's best friend. And I love that like sister like bond that these two have. And I'm one of those people who can like see them being whatever, like romantic or platonic. Wednesday and Enid can just simply work as both. But personally, I just like them more as like best friends, because Wednesday just needs a best friend in her life. And I just feel like it's like a good love that like both of them need to have. When I first heard that season 2 was coming out for Wednesday, I had a few like thoughts on like where the show was going to be going. One of the things that excited me the most was the fact that they were going into a more horror theme element for the show. I am personally kind of like a lover of horror films to an extent, mostly with like video games, but like I definitely think I'm one of those people who definitely think like this like theme for the show to be like more horror themed is perfectly on brand, because it's like an Addams Family like it's an Addams Family show. Like of course it's gonna be like more scary this season. I am personally like predicting like a lot of like another like monster on loose. I do know that like we were kind of like left on a cliffhanger that Wednesday has a stalker. Tyler probably like escaped prison. Well, he did not escape prison, because like we saw like a promo of him like already in prison, but like we know that Tyler is still gonna be in the show. He's probably going to be involved in some bigger like threat like in the next season, but like he's going to be like helping someone else. That's my prediction. Also, we have like a new principal who's going to like make Nevermore like a more like better place. That's what he like promises. I have a prediction that Wednesday is also going to be clashing with him a lot, like Principal Weems. We have a lot of returning cast members like Ajax, and like also I think like that B Club kid is coming back too, but like many characters are coming back. Well, except for one, but I already talked about him. But anyway, this new season is very promising in my opinion, but like with like most seasons, like it's just more promising. One of the biggest things, well, not like the biggest thing in my opinion, but like another interesting part is just the fact that like Pugsley has powers. So he's now going to Nevermore, just like Wednesday. and they're gonna be like a whole like Nevermore family. So I'm very excited to see where this is going. Even though we are still kind of like in the dark of like what season 2 is gonna be looking like, I think we won't be disappointed. At least some fans would be disappointed, but like I feel like the majority of fans would not be that disappointed. Even though it's being broken up into 2 parts, Netflix is loving breaking things into parts like nowadays. I still think that we still have like a good, like we have a lot to look forward to. And I don't know, I feel like Wednesday is gonna be trending again on Netflix. I just cannot wait. But anyway, that's pretty much all my thoughts for Wednesday. And yeah, that's all I have for today. And thank you for guys for listening to Let's Discuss. If you like, follow the podcast, Let's Discuss Podcast _ all lowercase on social media, Instagram and TikTok. And I'll see you guys next time.